I'm gonna do a terrific show today, and I'm gonna help people because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
All right, you lot, let's make television!
Your time has come, you smug bastard! The aliens are here! We're all going to die!
What's up, everybody? Dave Webster, Identity Crisis Design here. I've got, like, me, and that's just fine. Let's see if I got a banner here. There. Shameless plug. Let's see what else we got going on. I'm only like a couple of minutes late. I was watching something else and kind of got lost in it. So I see. I was looking for a word like how to share the screen, and they changed it from share to present. So I'm going to. Geez, why'd they do this? All right, this is what I want to share, since this is what I said I was going to be doing. But I'm also listening to something over here. I'm listening to an EFAP of an it was an EFAP of an EFAP, but let's see if something over here. I'm listening. Shit, wrong thing. What's this?
Threat of violence. Yeah.
How could he be so irresponsible? Like,
So if this is too loud, I mean, I can hear it fine. I'll keep an eye on the comments to see if crazy comic stuff. Hey, Sully. Hey, Divinity. What's happening? What are you guys up to? Let's see. God, I can keep playing that if you want. It's actually some crazy drama between different comic book professionals. We highly suspect that there may be some mental illness involved, but it was really something else. People threatening to find other people at comic book conventions and talking about each other's families. A really nasty business. Making pancakes. Yeah, it's going somewhat smooth, I guess. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to kind of get on a stream, because I want it to keep going smoothly. And I know if I'm just in front of the computer, somehow I fooled myself into thinking that if I'm just in front of the computer doing some drawing, then it'll keep going smoothly. And so I'm just going to test the theory. I got to go to work later, and I want to get something done, and I need some content. So you guys are going to help me do that. Thanks for being around too, because like I'm not good at talking to nobody. I know this about myself. Anyway, so if you guys want to see what's going on this particular page here, I've got like some really rough layouts, and what's happening is our bad guy is one of the bad guys is discovered that all of the lights have gone out in the building that he's in, and he's about to walk down some basement steps, the ones with the slats where you could like reach through and trap someone, or let's get some better lighting, trap some, or hook. He's going to hook him with his meat hook, with one of those. And this is the previous page, so you can see we got some gruesome, and then our bad guy's coming down, and then our good guy, he hits the main breaker, and now this is where we are. So the regular pancakes, Divinity, or are we talking about some like pumpkin spice thing now because it's October. Is that when the pumpkin spice gets pulled out somewhere near the end of September, October? And then Sully's hanging out. I haven't been able to get on any, not like get on a stream, but like I've been following so many different things. Then I get onto Discord to put a link out for this, and I'm like, man, it's all of these channels have evolved so much since the last time I saw them, and it hasn't taken very long either. I wanted to ask you this, Divinity, since you're in California. Is there a serial killer out there? I heard somebody talking like there's either one or a string of crimes that are teetering on the edge of becoming serial. You guys keep racking up reasons to not be in that state. High taxes, high violence, and now like people are collecting. Yes. Oh, it's up north. I was going to look into that, but then I was like, I know people who are really a lot more into that than I am. I've never been one of those, read Helter Skelter or anything like that myself. But like I was explaining to the guys at when we were in Tennessee, my wife was into true crime. She doesn't follow anything on YouTube, but she had a okay. I heard single men. So what you're saying is, man, you know what? That's not good. If it turns out to be some like activist from, if it turns out to be like, it's weird. Activist from the right, which is something that nobody ever says. It never like turns out that way. But somebody who's like just like really fed up with like immigration or something like that, then that is going to be a bad look. Need this leg to foreshorten the body this way, foreshorten the leg this way, and make it not look weird. See, okay, so if it's image and sexual preference, like I know, okay, so if I'm going to paint with a broad brush, which is ill-advised, and you have somebody who is upset with immigration, the way that immigration is being handled, typically, again, with the ill-advised broad brush, typically that's a right side of the aisle thing. And not to say, again, exclusively that it's going to go one way or the other, but a sexual preference thing seems to be a more of a left side of the aisle idea, where, in other words, what we concentrate on when we're conservative is borders, culture, laws, good vibes, good vibes, good vibes. That must be an emoji that I can't see. Cool Frog is here. Awesome. A conservative. So not sexual preference, but they're not killing because they are. They're not killing the Hispanic men because they're men and it's a sexual preference thing, or more than likely you're saying it's a gender thing where a Hispanic man might be considered to be more dangerous or like in an MS-13 kind of a way. Yes, the coolest of the frogs. If that's what you're talking about, then I know what you mean, where it still stays as a politically motivated thing, not a sexually motivated thing. But I know what you mean. Like if you're using the word sex in in place of gender. I mean, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, huh. You know what? I'm going to have to read more about that but then what are you getting? That, like, when you do read about that, aren't you getting the guy in the newsroom at Die Hard who wrote the book on profiling criminals and really doesn't know anything? Typically, when we see something like this happen, it gets blamed on one side, and then they find out who it actually is, and it's not what you think. It's going to be a white supremacist, and then it turns out to be nowhere near that. I'll tell you what, drawing digitally is so nice because you can fix things like that, but you need to actually do some traditional pages. Jessica is here. Awesome. Man, I'm catching some peeps. I got to do this more often. Also, I believe if you guys want to come in and actually chat, I put the StreamYard link in my comics channel in my server. If that's not an efficient way of getting it out there for anybody that actually wants to jump in, let me know, and I'll just stick it up in this chat because random newsroom, random newsroom theory. All the people that the experts, not like our expert who is actually an expert at being an expert. This is going to be a pistol grip, handheld, shoddy. So that way. So my brother put out a video, one of his model making things last night. I got to see it. It's really cool. He's takes a lot of time finding a lot of little. Yeah. I'm not sure what the wood grain thing means, but so I gotta maybe I shouldn't read and draw at the same time. Yeah, my brother said the same thing. He's stuck at work, so he can't get in here and chiz at. This hand needs to be coming out more towards me. I'm telling you what, I'm getting a real crash course in foreshortening here. I always tend to do this thing where I'm challenging my try to get out of my comfort zone and do weird different angles, and while I'm also trying to tell a story here, and I might end up taking up more time than I need to actually getting this thing done, because you know what I mean. It's like I'm working on the book and I'm also working on myself. Those two things should just be happening on their own. But when I know that I'm in a comfort zone, the first thing I want to do is get away from it and challenge myself. But it ends up taking a little bit more time than I'd like. This thumb is going to have to come down and go out like that. Okay. I'm going to draw more action oriented and really test the boundaries of I mean, there's a point where you try to do like heroic stuff, exaggerated positions, and if you go too far, they end up looking really stupid. But I also don't want them to look boring. So there's supposed to be a happy medium there, I'm told. This finger's going to go out like that. Okay, I'm pretty cozy with that. Now it looks like he's at least reaching forward a little bit. I don't want this, like, the hand to come out and then end up just going like up. I don't want things to look too flat. Definitely in pain and I'm going to have to move this leg out of the way because I need to display this hook coming through, holding onto the hook coming through, and blood. So what's going on, man? I had some people in here, and you guys gotta talk. I feel like they're just you're watching, which happens, by the way. Just real quick, see if I can. Maybe it'll just let me open this. I can show you what I was working on the other day. Yeah, maybe this will let me just drag this in here if I'm lucky. Yeah, okay, let me do that, and then I can just undo it real quick. So it was a 1972 Chevy Cheyenne, and I did this little construction thing over. The guys were at a engine 15 company, a firehouse in around Pittsburgh. So it was really a lot of fun. I was there for like maybe 8 hours. Actually had actually had firehouse chili in a firehouse made by real firemen. Marshmallow guy. Okay, now this is actually kind of a steel helmet. So what he's doing is, I don't know if you can tell from here, he's hiding under the steps. And as this guy's dumb enough to walk down, and you can see there's I can't draw it right in there because I don't have that selected, but he's can you see this? Yeah, you can see my pointer. He's gonna hook this foot with one of those hooks and basically slice through it, and then pounce on him whenever he hits the bottom of the stairwell. So he's like that thing in the basement, that hand, that creeping hand that comes out. There'll be a hook right there, and then there's going to be, we'll have to, like, I actually paid enough attention to what his shoes look like here. I have to remember what it was. I made him look like some old, like, circa 1970s Tracks shoes. Does anybody remember those? Anybody old enough to remember Tracks? It was like before Nike. That's what everybody wore, and I'm pretty sure they sucked. Right. You guys have yeah, that truck job, that was pretty cool. I don't get a chance to do a lot of hand lettering, so I was pretty happy with the way that it came out. Plus, it was supposed to have an old distressed look to it, which meant that I could, forgive myself for not being dead balls on accurate with every letter, but one step closer to, and I'm pretty sure I talked about this with the expert before. Cool Frog may already know about this, but I'm having I'm having plumbing issues in my house. It actually cost me some vacation days sticking around here for waiting for some guys to come in and give me and bid. I have a guy coming in tomorrow to bid on putting in a septic tank, which is going to be Probably the most expensive thing I've done to this house yet. And all it is where the shit goes. And that's just a matter of how old the house is. But I'm like scheduled to have, yeah, I know. I'm scheduled to have I'm on somebody's schedule for October, but I'm actually going to have somebody come out and give me another estimate, or whatever you want to call it, another plan. But this neighborhood is so old that the words code don't mean anything. Normally when you have a problem like that, it could be like digging up the yard. But I've learned so much about this neighborhood ever since I've been here. It's actually the kind of thing, the whole thing is built on top of a giant mine. And I've always kind of wanted to go in there and look, but the whole thing's been locked up and, chained and whatever for the longest time. But especially around Halloween. So what's the best thing to do on Halloween is to go walk around in a dangerous mine. Who knows what kind of ghosts are in there. But getting out to paint that truck is like, now I'm charging people like real money, because I need to lessen the blow, the financial blow that this is going to be. And the real trick is that the whole thing, well, no, it's not like that. Well, the little camera, actually, I have, I put a little action camera down into the septic tank so that I could see what it was doing. Does anybody want to see that footage? It's real wet and slimy and nasty looking. I did that a while back. But like a good joke, you can't just tell it once. This foot's gonna go. Hex Allen, what's up? How you doing, bruh? I hope everybody's being productive. If Let's Talk About Prepping was in here, I'd show them pictures of the meatballs I canned the other day. Canned some meatballs. Where is that thing? Well, it's on my phone right now, I think. Yeah, but anyways, so yeah, it's on my phone. I don't think I imported that picture. But I got like 7.5 pounds of hamburger meatball, all kinds of spices and stuff in there, and thought I was gonna get like my pressure canner holds about 14 quart jars. It's a nice tall one, and yeah, there it is. I'll import these two. I can show these to you. This is what the canner looks like. Whoop. Well, what are you going to do? Yeah, that's the canner. Can fit 14 quart jars in there. But I even after, putting all that meat together, I only got 5. Some of the prettiest ones I've ever done. Sometimes the stuff comes out of the can, it doesn't look right. It's all like stuff going down around the sides, but it's a mess. You got to wash them off. But that's what happens after a bad news day. When you start hearing some of the craziest stuff that's been going on with people are transporting nuclear missiles from one place in the world to another place in the world for, then I pull out the canner. And thank God, normally when I get like this, my wife tells me to calm down, but she's like, hey, I'm asking her, what do you want a can? And she's not automatically, coming down on me for it. I think she's working on having some, well, we are working on having some better communication skills. But it is, you feel like you feel like you did something. It's like putting money in a savings account. You just kind of, well, that's done. Being a responsible adult. All right, so let's see here. I gotta do stairs on this thing. Let's see, how's this line gonna go? Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be convincing. And then, so if he's only like maybe 4 or 5 steps down, then I need to show the doorway up here. A lot of this should be really dark. And so much of this stuff is just like, come on. Yeah, that's what I need. Get rid of this. Now you can concentrate a little bit more. Okay, so yeah, it's I don't know, like visualizing the inside of a room and making it look right is one thing. Visualizing the human figure and making it look convincing is something else. And I mean, I'm going to have to get cars in here, and I don't know. It's I can't wait to see it when it's done. But I have this sinking feeling that whenever I am finished with it, like with a lot of the stuff that that you do when you're anybody that does anything creative, you stand back and you scratch your chin for a good like 3 or 4 days, before you either like it or just resign yourself to, this, it is what it is, like how, like eventually you have to stop being your own worst critic so you can actually enjoy the thing that you did. Okay, so perspective is going to be so. Is anybody else watching anything cool or reading anything cool or doing anything cool or not doing anything not cool? And I got to remember this is all in the dark too, so this thing would go like this, and like that. I'd have here. You're not doing anything uncool. which means everything that you're doing is cool. I think that's what that means. If I have my double negatives right. Oh. Yeah, you know what the thing is though, all the fun stuff happens at night. And I'm not saying don't go for it. I used to have a regular sleep routine, but now I have this 2 weeks daylight, 2 weeks evening. And no matter what I do, a couple of things have happened. The wife, well, we have different sleep schedules anyways, so we decided, not on purpose, but more organically, that we are not in the same room. So we actually get better sleep. And because we get better sleep, we're not cranky. And because we're not cranky, we don't argue nearly as much. She was a little upset, but you know what I mean? Not upset, but more like isn't that sad? We're one of those couples. And I'm like, hey, I'd rather be, well rested and civil than not well rested and just, total crank factory around each other. That's no fun. But you should see the Get Up, just to get a little personal here on how my whole sleep thing. Yeah, you know what? It's yeah, the cool stuff happens at night. Stick with Cool Frog. You are at night. Of course, you're about ready to wrap up right when I get home. And sometimes when I'm at work, I can't even pay attention because it's just, my hands are full and I might be doing something else. And that's why it seems like it's this weird circular thing where, or cyclical thing where, I'm around and then I'm not, and then I'm around and then I'm not. And I imagine that sometimes people can take this stuff seriously, too seriously. Master bedroom, queen size bed, dad sleeps in the guest room on a twin. Right. Oh, well, I'm not saying that we don't fight, totally, but, okay. It's like this. First, I would snore, and that would keep her up. So I got one of those. It's called a Vita Sleep. I've gone through 3 different ones of these, and the Vita Sleep is the best one. Where it's a mouthpiece that you wear that shoves your jaw forward so that your tongue isn't against the back of your throat, and I think that helps. And then I also have a Bluetooth sleep mask so that I can listen to cool stuff. There's all kinds of stuff on YouTube. Let's see. I'll go to there's like super self-discipline, lucid dreaming, best relaxation. And you have to make sure that you're dealing with, there's a lose weight while you sleep, fall asleep and become the most powerful version of yourself. And who knows if any of this stuff works. But it's like, 432 hertz healing sounds and stuff like that. So I'll have that playing over the Bluetooth sleep mask. Of course, who knows what kind of tumors I'm developing because I'm sticking all these electronic things up right next to my brain. That, and then the bed is a Select Comfort, and it's adjustable. So I sleep with my legs up a little bit because I found that the more blood flow that I have towards the top half of me, like where my brain is, the more I tend to dream and then remember the dream. I had one last night that was kind of cool, or at least the part of it that I remember. I met 2 total strangers. I have no idea exactly what was going on during the day that would make me, create what is essentially just like I think I was back in college somehow. And it was kind of cool. It almost never happens where whoever is in my dream is extremely cute. But in this case, that actually happened. So it's like one of those things where, like, all right, what did I do? What did I do before I go to bed? I'm going to do exactly the same thing, and maybe they'll show up. Yeah. That plus, like when you've been on your feet all day, and depending on how well your circulation is, your legs will kind of swell up and stuff. So I like to keep that from. I mean, it's not like I don't have dropsy, but I like to kind of take it easy on this 52-year-old body. Okay. I wonder if this is even like narrative enough. And by that I mean being able to tell what's going on. I mean, he's got the hooks here. You can see the foot up in the corner, and I don't want to assume that my audience or my readers are going to be stupid, but I don't want to have to like, hey, come on this or watch the stream where I explained what was going on this page before you read the book, so that you're not. Also, these panels will. Let me see if I can get it to show up right. Oh, for crying out loud. Do what I want you to do. Yeah. So this panel will actually be over this bottom one. This line, there won't be as much confusion with these overlapping frames. Okay. Get rid of those blue pencils because they're confusing me right now. And all right. Stairs. Let me change my eraser to something. So who wants to talk about nuclear annihilation or religion? Those are your two options. We can go with some eschatology. My cousin does a really, really good study on eschatology. He wants to start it up again. He basically do a stream on the book of Revelations, and this is with somebody who is has a. Okay, I want to make sure I get this right. He's got 2 masters in something, and was working on his third one. One was divinity, and I think one was theology, but extremely well read. I mean, the bookcase that he has on the things concerning the Christian faith is like literally the slats grown with the weight of all the books. And listening to him talk about it is, what did I do here? I wasn't paying attention to my layers. So hopefully I can talk him into starting that up, because he doesn't do any streaming or anything like that. I'm like, if you want to reach more people with whatever the message, with whatever your message is, you're doing evergreen stuff. Do it on stream, and that way it's not just people showing up to the house. You're getting to 6 or 7 people. You do it on a stream. I mean, this is like. The book of Revelation is like God's horror story. It's pretty compelling stuff. Yeah, I know. And then also somebody can sit there and ask and answer questions and not have to like your producer. Oops, that is not the pencil. It's the eraser. And that way that Mark could concentrate on what he's talking about instead of am I in pen mode? What's my pencil? Rough pencil. Yeah. But I've already been through this study once, and it is very, very thorough. There's a whole bunch of different names and terminology for what somebody believes. Post-apocalyptic, millennial stuff. I don't even remember exactly the thing that I know. The thing that I believe has a special name. It's not preterism. A preterist believes that that most, if not all, eschatological scripture is grossly misinterpreted and means something completely different than what everybody else thinks it does. I am of the opinion that you're not. So the theory of the. I can't believe I'm getting into this. The theory of the rapture being that people just disappear at some point, and are like your whole what do they call like your left behind thing. That does not happen until there's been at least 3.5 years of tribulation. And I think that is kind of like the separating wheat from a chaff thing. You say you're Christian, but how Christian are you? Like when it says in the Bible, you say, Lord, Lord, but you do not do what I say. And that's going to be some sort of a kind of a final exam. You're not going to be able to buy and sell unless you have the mark. So are you going to take the mark? You're going to have 3.5 years of that, and then we'll see the rapture. But that's just what I think. I know it sounds like crazy talk when you listen to yourself, but gosh darn it. Oh, cool. Yeah, all right. Divinity agrees with almost everything that I say. That's what I like about you, girl. But that would be an awesome stream to be a part of. Because I mean, and then it would be like I could help him out. I mean, I'm no master streamer, but I know more about it than he does. See, does this leg just look short or foreshortened? Maybe maybe I got a better idea about this. Let's see. Bent leg going back, front leg coming out. Well, if he was going to go step down onto a step, then we'd have a bend in the knee. We don't have to have that foot in the panel. This one we do. In fact, oh yeah, be in the chat or be on the stream. You know, I don't think it's one of the things you don't want to be. You want to be open. You know, you want people to be able to participate in as much as possible. Who knows? Maybe save a few souls. Okay. Let me see how far back I can go on this, because I don't think that's going the right direction either. He's supposed to be falling forward. Better have enough undos on this. I'm screwed. It doesn't look like falling forward to me. That looks like the shape is supposed to be this. The other shape is supposed to be going this way. So that knee is, whoops, I need black. So this knee is should be here. And that step is going to be in the wrong spot. Yeah, my son's been asking me about. I guess you'd say asking me my opinion on things concerning faith. And the one thing that a lot of people do that, and it was my experience growing up, was the lack of applying common sense, which you would think, you know, most people see the Bible as a mythical tome where one of the things that any good church should teach is the inerrancy of the Bible. In other words, that regardless of translation, that the message that's coming through, because it's a divine message created by the mind that created everything that we see, feel, and know, would not let something like that, however we do it to ourselves, would not let that message be diminished somehow because it was a King James or an NIV or a New English Standard or something like that. And that those people who say that it couldn't possibly be that accurate going down through the ages is they're diminishing with the power of God. In other words, they're seeing the being of God as fallible as they are, which is I think is a huge mistake. So believing that the Bible is without error and 100% totally true is one thing, but also you have to be able to apply your own logic to it. The same way that you have to be able to apply your own critical thinking to why a thing may or may not be. Like in I think it's not Isaiah. I think it's in Ezekiel where God kills children, and nobody ever asks, well, how old were these, quote unquote children? This has always been a big one for, people want to talk about, God being an all loving God and whatever. But nobody ever stops to think, okay, so let's say God takes, quote, children out of the world. Where do those children end up? Okay, if they end up in a paradise for all eternity, then that's not such a bad trade-off. Okay, yeah, some sorrow down here on earth. And by the way, the children that is being talked about in Ezekiel were pretty much described as absolute brats, and that they were more than likely not of the age of it's called the age of, it'll come to me. It's like the whole reason why a bar mitzvah exists, or what a bar mitzvah, the age of accountability. Where there's like breakfast in my teeth. That's vinegar for a second. Where there is an age, generally around 13, where you are responsible for knowing the difference between good and evil, and that before that you would still be considered innocent, and that if life is taken too soon, that you really don't need to worry about where it would end up, because that concept does not apply to someone so young. I was just watching the Witch the other night, which is, I think it's a pretty good movie. It's a little bit slow, but as far as horror movies where witches are the main crux of the thing, it's right up there with Hereditary. It's so good. See, his hips are in the wrong. It's like I'm drawing two different people. I need to if he's being foreshortened, he needs to be bigger up at the top than he is at the bottom. But really, it's just turning into this. His legs are too small, and I've got too many perspectives happening here. So I know this is going to be hard to take, but here it goes. There, I did it. And I don't plan on undoing it. Yeah, that's not any help. That's just a simple layout. Hips. We're going to go back. Man, how do I'm not seeing this right. Move these stairs out of the way. That's bothering me too. Needs to be falling forward, so I need to really not see a whole lot of this. Not see a whole lot of this. I want this foot to be all like messed up because it's being that's actually going to be better. Yeah, go this way, just like this, 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 and this. And then just do the stairs in a different angle. In fact, I'm going to kill that layer right now. Okay. Yeah, I know I spend so much time on these, like how this arm's going to come out. And the thing is, yeah, he's got some muscles, but he's not supposed to be. I mean, he's supposed to be like a henchman. But right now, I think he's looking a little bit too buff for being the tweaker that I've written him to be. And I don't even know why I'm worried about that. The guy's only going to be in here for we're not seeing him after this. So it's not like I needed to do like some sort of a backstory and there, hip. So it's going to be so anyways, that's where they say, the Bible has the answers. It does. It has a lot of, it brings up a lot of questions, but I do believe it has the answers. In fact, I don't read a lot of it. I listen to it, and I know a lot of people, I think a lot of people appreciate the Catholics that I've talked to appreciate the Catholic religion for the mechanics of it, and that there is a way to do things. I don't necessarily believe that it is all that, but the one thing that I do like is, like, I listen to it every day, and sometimes it's in the background and something else is on my mind, but it's just sort of like even with the Bluetooth headset at night, hopefully something is getting through. But if anybody out there is looking for an honest to God, and I mean, when I say like a biblical, like a, this isn't working out right either. Like a rock star. In fact, I don't know, he's in California, but John MacArthur is a guy that's got, it's solid is the only word that I can really think of to describe him. And I mean, and a lot of it's tough to take because he doesn't pull any punches. He's not one of those, preachers, or it's not a televangelist either. I've been through that already. I grew up in a house that had a very unhealthy attachment to the Jimmy Swaggarts, the Kenneth Copelands, and the Benny Hinns, and the Paula Whites, and whatever the new crop is. You the Joel Osteens and stuff, but. It's just gonna have to be like small sissy. Why is this doing this to me? I should just look up foreshortened superhero legs or something. I know what it is. I know what foreshortened limbs. Let's see if that works. Well, if I go foreshortened AIDS. I don't know. Oh, this might help. See, like, oh, they won't let me do it. Or will they? Yeah. Right, where is it? Panel 1, panel 2. Ah, all these layers, I cannot see what I'm doing. I should be able to see that thing that I just put in here. Panel 1, panel 2, there. All right. There it is. Jeez. Yeah, he's supposed to be falling forward. I'm looking at this. Any one of these. This is the. It's just in my. I'm having a hard time seeing it in my head. Kind of like. Come on. Yeah, kind of like this, or. Well, mostly like this, but not that exaggerated. The hotkeys for this are not the same as they are there. But yeah, that's basically it. He looks like a Ninja Turtle under the stairs. Are you saying my guy looks like a Ninja Turtle under the stairs? My meat hook guy? Yeah, maybe it's the whole, what it is. I mean, I've got it right in the layout. He's upright too much from the. He's upright too much from the waist up. I like the arms are fine, but I'm trying to show. This has always been one of my huge problems. I'm trying to show off too much of the figure, and if I want to show off the whole figure, they have to be standing straight up, and that's one of the reasons why this is happening. Because it's like I was saying before, it's that artistic, weight room. I want to draw everything. I want everything to be seen, and it's a bad edit. I don't know that I necessarily have to do something with the head, but you see this. Actually, the second one in from the top here, this one is probably the best version I can think of. His head should be down, not up. Fruit flies. How are those things not dead yet? It's cold enough. His head should be here. Like this, looking down. I used to do that to myself all the time when I was a kid. I would just zero in on one part of the picture instead of zooming out and trying to draw everything. So I get some minor facial stuff in there. All right, and then this should be his whole front going this way, and then hips, and then legs, and then that foot. So he's like really going for. This is probably the best, because now that actually gives me room to show off that slice. It's a good thing you guys were here, otherwise it would have looked like total shit. My guy actually does his backstory. He's got fighting skills. And I remember seeing this one video on YouTube of a guy using I want to say it's a chain whip, but it's actually using a chain as a weapon, and I wanted to apply it to this guy here. Not the guy that's fallen down the stairs, but his victim. All right, so hip, and everything's really scrunched. I do want this leg coming forward a little bit. This one going backward, calf, ankle, but this is the, which one's getting sliced? Yeah, that one's getting sliced. This one could come this way. That one's getting sliced. But yeah, so okay, you know what? I wonder if I could find it on YouTube. I was watching this the other day. I was showing it to my wife and I were watching The Accountant. If anybody's ever seen that, there's a really good let's see. Two C's. Actually got it as, yeah, okay. I'm just going to fast forward through this. It's not very long, but the whole reason I was watching this was because we were discussing autism, and this character is played by Ben Affleck. This is 2016. It's actually really, really good, I think. Let's see, share, Brave tab. Okay, let's see if we can get there. Tell me if this is too loud. That might be too loud. All right. All right. Let me get right to it. All right, pulls the guy out of the truck. Let's see if we can get this full screen for you. Solo. But this basically encapsulates the way that my guy likes to fight and why he has these straps around his elbows. Okay. Knife. I'm only pausing this because I don't want to get, what do you call it? So anyways, this Ben Affleck's character, he's autistic. Imagine somebody who is like, Rain Man, but is very proficient at, fighting. His whole thing is once he gets started on something, he has to finish it. It's obsessive compulsively finishes. There's a 36th chamber or something like that. No, it's not that one. But it's a kung fu movie where this guy practices doing kung fu by putting together scaffolding with bamboo and reeds. What? I want to stop the screen, not leave the studio. And then get this other one going. Right. Anyways, I'm going to have to try to illustrate fight moves like that. So this is going to be actually even more this away here. Get rid of this, get rid of this. Really, really exaggerated. Yeah, I like this is so much better. Yeah, some of this is just too big. You know, now that I'm seeing how everything's starting to proportion out. But this is whenever I'm telling somebody about like I'm drawing and whenever I am drawing or painting or something, it's not that it happens so rarely. It's that it happens rare enough to where it doesn't just like when I was airbrushing every day at the mall. I spent so little time thinking about how something should work or how the it's like when you think about how the tool is working, there's not a lot of room in your brain for what to do with the image. You're taking brain power away from your imagination and putting it into this other technical, mechanical part of the process. It's like when my sister was explaining to me, she has a touch of cerebral palsy in her legs. She doesn't have the smoothest gait, and she has to constantly spend brain power on making sure that she doesn't trip and fall, which in turn makes it literally not an impossibility, but more work than it would be for somebody else to walk and talk at the same time. Because now you're not thinking about I don't have to think about what I'm doing when I'm walking, and she does, and then to think about what you're saying, so you're putting too much of a load on the CPU, for want of a better term, and things happen. So that's my excuse. So, sorry guys, I'm still trying to walk and talk at the same time. I'm probably, as I've got a couple of minutes before people come home, and I gotta concentrate on other things. But I'm very happy for those of you that showed up. That you showed up. Of course, there's going to be more videos and stuff later, other like comic book reviews, and I do want to get the paintbrushes out again and do some pinstriping. People seem to like that a lot. I don't think there's enough of that on YouTube, but I'm going to concentrate on this a little bit more, wait for my kid to come home and for the wife to come home and stuff like that. But I do appreciate you guys hanging out for the hour and 17. Like and subscribe for anybody that sees us in the future. Thanks for hanging out, and great conversation, Divinity. Thanks for hanging out. Whoever we got, I'll do the romper room thing. Jessica, I see Jessica and Cool Frog and Divinity and Hexalin, and I see those people. Thanks for freaking fly, man. Thank you for being around. Let's throw out some funny stuff here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we'll do the Mexican self-defense.
Cómo defenderse de un ataque con cuchillo. Él va a ser el que me va a atacar. Por supuesto, yo voy a ser el que se va a defender, ¿sí? Del ataque con cuchillo. El primer ataque va a ser yo bloqueo. Ahora, te voy a atacar. Sí, ataque. Ahí va, yo bloqueo. Bloqueo, paso por abajo y... ¡Ay, pará! ¡No! Ya, cruz, ahí. ¡Ay, no! Yo te digo cuándo atacar porque si no, no puedo hacer. Pará, ataca ahora. Yo defiendo. Pará. ¡Ay! No. Te ataco. Cruz. ¿Ves? No. Atacar con cuchillo. Ahí va, defiendo con patada. Ahí. ¿En serio, gordo? Sí, tócame esto. Ahí, eso. Ahí. Ahora sí. Perfecto. Bueno, va, pará.
That's like one of my favorites. Cool. You guys all take it easy. I'm going to get the F out of here.
I loved it. It was much better than Cat. I'm going to see it again and again. I loved it.